3 incredible girls trips under $500, not including the cost of getting there. Again, that is contingent on where you live and how you like to fly. If you're a first class, that's great. If you said I'm going to be on Spirit Airlines and hold my knees and my bag in my lap, that's okay as well. $500, 3 trips, beach, festival, international. Tell me which one you're leaning towards. Hey sis, I'm Jay Stevens and welcome to Rich Like My Melanin, where we make moves that actually make sense because securing the bag isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter, right? So y'all see this good sunlight popping on the melanin, right? Y'all see the braids? Y'all know what that means. It's summertime. Summertime. And that means we deserve a trip. We deserve to go on vacation. What I'm going to do in this video is give you 3 options of what you can do for a nice summer trip, right? A girls trip, or you can do this solo. All of these are going to be under $500, excluding travel. I say excluding travel because if you're flying from one part of the country versus another part or a place that doesn't have a hub, that can vary a lot. But the $500 is going to include your lodging, your food, and your excursions while you're there, the activities, right? So I'm going to give you an option for a beach trip, a festival, and an international trip for the girlies that like to get the passport stamped. Starting with soaking up some rays, getting the good glow, but I already got it. Getting the good glow with an affordable beach trip. I love relaxing by my pool. I'm so glad the apartment I'm in right now has a pool, and I like going to the beach. So when you want to do that on a budget, here are some destinations to look for. You want to go to Myrtle Beach, Virginia Beach, and have y'all considered Puerto Rico? All budget-friendly options. You can also do the Florida Panhandle. I don't go to Florida as much, personal choice, but can do that. Also, I know at this point y'all are probably peeping how I turn my hair and my edges are looking some kind of way. That's because these braids are coming out today. So bear with me. These are pretty. These are nice to get me through the spring. I'm about to have a blonde, cute little bayab for the summer. So again, bear with me in my edges because at least I got edges. Haha. All right. So where are you going to stay when you go on your beach trip? Aim for vacation rentals, Airbnb, Verbos. Do that. Look for a place that has a kitchen because then you can save a little bit of money by cooking meals or even having a caterer come in. Also, if you're willing to get a rental car or Uber or something like that, you can find a place that's a little further away from the immediate beachfront because they tend to be more affordable. Activities. This is where you will really come in with saving some money. Because you're at the beach, the activity is what? The beach. So all you're going to need to do is pack your little beach bag. I always bring a copy of the Essence magazine because I subscribe to Essence magazine, like paper, right? I know that's so old school, but I do it. So then I just throw a few of the old Essence magazines in my bag. So I usually don't have time to read them throughout the year. I wait till my summer vacation. I throw them in there. I pack some snacks. My homegirls, we will pack like a deck of cards or like some games to play on the beach. And then somebody will bring a speaker. We'll lay out there with our sunscreen on. Yes, please do wear sunscreen, y'all. And just relax on the beach. You can go on strolls. You can just watch the sunset. You can have a picnic. Like you can do whatever you want on the beach. Now, if you want to do more activities, go back to that Puerto Rico option I mentioned before. So when I did Puerto Rico, I was there for only 48 hours. Listen to how much I did in 48 hours in Puerto Rico. Karaoke on the beach, zip lining, kayaking, horseback riding on the beach. We went to a really fancy seafood restaurant for dinner. We went to a chocolate tasting, which is so cool at this bakery. And then we also relaxed poolside. All of that in 48 hours while staying at the Hilton. I'm not saying you have to stay at the Hilton. I do think Hilton across the board, across the world, have the best water pressure and showers. But Hilton, wherever you stay, you can get a lot done. So if you want to relax on the beach, you bring your beach bag and you vibe out on the beach. If you want to do a lot of excursions, Puerto Rico has a great option. As far as the budget breakdown, this is how it looks. Accommodation, if you do it with, 4 girls on a trip, that's about a 150 to 200 per person. Groceries with some meals out, that's 150 per person. And then the affordable activities, again, whether you want to lay on the beach or whether you want to go all out and have an adventure, live in the moment, that is about $50 to $100 per person. So you can spend roughly $350 to $450 on a beach trip. Bet. Option number 2, culture, community, and celebration. I mentioned that we're doing a festival. And we're going to go to the Black Girl Magic Festival, the the Mecca of festivals for the blacks and the beauties, the black girl beauties. That is Essence Festival in New Orleans, baby. Ooh, that was a terrible New Orleans accent. New Orleans people, don't cancel me. Don't cancel me. That was not a good accent. So for the New Orleans trip, Essence Fest. I went to Essence Fest in 2018, had a ball. You will want to go. It's in July. Usually it lines up with July 4th weekend for accommodations. There are a lot of budget-friendly options. There's hostels, there's budget hotels. If you're willing to kind of go further outside of the French Quarter, there's also places around there. You can get vacation rentals. The thing is, the hotels book up early. Like they book out like 10 months in advance, sometimes a year in advance, even though sometimes hotels don't even have their rooms available that far out. But accommodations will be harder if you're waiting to the last minute. For the festival, while there are some events that require tickets and they have, a fee associated with that, there are many free events, including daytime marketplace. Essence usually has a food vendor. They have like the big convention center hall where you can get all kind of free samples and try new things. They even have evening concerts in the park. So you can just kind of soak in the atmosphere, walk around. Also, you can always go to Bourbon Street, baby. Again, New Orleans people don't cancel me from accent. You can soak in the vibrant atmosphere there. Like you can just enjoy yourself walking up and down. There's so much good people watching in New Orleans. And then there's also like speakers. And as I've learned when I went there, you just kind of find out about more stuff as you walk around. Like it's when people say it's a vibe, it's a vibe. Like everyone's just very upbeat and engaging. And so you can easily connect with people and say, okay, this is what I want to do today. And you do it. And then when you're in food, you got to try local cuisine. Like New Orleans, they have great music, they have great arts. As far as the arts, I'm sorry, tongue tied. Performance arts, visual arts, but they also have really good food. So for the food, you got to get some po' boys, you got to get some beignets, you got to get, and I said beignets, jambalaya. Like there's a lot to do. You can also maybe go to a grocery store for some breakfast in advance, like just get you a few little simple staples for breakfast, and then all the other meals eat out because you're going to want to do it. For the accommodation, split 4 ways. Again, this is the girls trip, but you could do a solo. That's 200 to about 250 per person. It can be lower again if you book far out enough in advance. Food and drinks, 150 to 200 per person. That is saying that you are going to have a few affordable meals because you can do that. Some snacks and groceries, but then you can have like one or two, we're going all out. We're going to have a fabulous fancy meal. And then the free festival activities and small souvenirs, honestly, you can get away with paying nothing for that. But I would say just budget like $500 for that. So that'll get you to roughly $400 to $500. That's option 2, Essence Fest. Option 3, international, because I like to get my passport stamped. Let me get some international air in my lungs. I love it. And people think that if you travel abroad, like it's going to cost a lot of money. It does, depending on where you go. I tend to say like I need a good 2K if I'm gonna leave this country because I want to be able to enjoy it and like live in the moment. But there are very affordable and budget-friendly girls trip options, specifically Mexico. So you get to do the history, the tourism, all the great things. They also have the beaches. There's amazing food, and all of this without emptying your bank account. Okay. So for Mexico, I love the food. Y'all notice there's a common thread here. Like I'm gonna go to a vacation place. I'm gonna try the activities, but I'm gonna want that food too. They have mezcal. I think they have mezcal in the States too, but like real mezcal, and it's great. Mezcal is just smoky tequila for those who don't know. And then there's culture, like so much just amazing, beautiful culture to experience when you're in Mexico. So consider destinations like Tulum or Playa del Carmen. I sound like I don't know how to speak. Mexico also has places that like so people picture the all-inclusive hotels and resorts, but you can also just like book local hostels. There's people have rental properties. They do Airbnb and Vrbo down there as well. Hostels are fantastic if you are trying to be budget friendly. Now, I'm not that budget friendly. I'm a spend money on some nice lodging. I want someone to bring me some fresh cut melon in the morning. But if you're into, saving money on the hotels that you can go out and about, that's also an option. Activities. So again, I mentioned the beaches because it's a summer trip. You need the beach, you need the sun. You can go to the Mayan ruins. You can go to local markets. There's a lot of street food. Be careful with street food. Not saying anything's wrong with Mexico, but if you're from the US, your body most likely is not well adjusted to drinking the water there, and you can get what's called Montezuma's curse for drinking the water and like foods that are washed off in the water. There's medicine that you take, you'll get over it, but just saying, be careful when you're eating out in the street markets. Like, don't get ice in your drink and stuff like that. You can also do the natural wonders because it's beautiful natural places to visit. So like cenotes are great, and they usually, some of them are like super cheap, and within the budget. You can also book them through, if you're staying at a resort, you can book them through your resort. As I mentioned, the food, there's obviously like the Americanized version of the food, but you can actually get the authentic version. So tacos, quesadillas, that's my mama calls them quesadillas, elotes, all of that. Street food, good stuff. So the breakdown of the cost: accommodations, 150 to 200 per person. That is if you do a hotel or you split a rental. Food and drinks, 150 to 200 per person. And then activities and local transportation, 100 to 150 per person. You can get a rental car in Mexico, like with your US license, you can get a rental car, and that'll save you money. But the time I did that with friends, we were stopped. I mean, it wasn't as scary as being a Black person getting stopped in the States, let's be real. But we were stopped, and you did have to, grease the wheels, pay a little money for them to send you on your way. So the trip was roughly 400 to 550. This one could be slightly 500, more than 500, but there's ways to keep it under 500. Okay, so lastly, regardless of where you go, even if you just do something local, something low key in your area, here's some tips of how you can make sure you stay within your budget. 3 quick tips for any trip you take. Think Tuesday. Tip number 1, think Tuesday. Book travel on Tuesdays, travel on Tuesdays as well. So like book your tickets on Tuesdays. Most people try to buy plane tickets and stuff on Fridays or Saturdays because they just got paid. And there's less people buying tickets on Tuesdays. So it's a good deal. Go on Tuesdays. Also, if you travel on Tuesdays, the airports are quieter. Again, people tend to travel on a Thursday or Friday because they want to have a long weekend, and then they fly back, like they fly to the destination on a Thursday and Friday. They book their return flight for like a Sunday or a Monday. So in general, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are quieter in the airport. I one time was flying on the Tuesday. There were only 10 of us on the plane. They insisted that we don't sit anywhere near each other because they needed to balance out the plane for safety. So like Tuesday's much easier. Also, go undercover. And by that, I mean use incognito mode when you search options. So, like when you're online looking for the places to stay, looking at your excursions and everything, select incognito mode in your browser before you start your search. Websites use cookies. Even when you turn those cookies off, they still are able to track your visit and tag your device, your laptop, your phone, whatever, to the initial ticket price they gave you. Even if a cheaper price is eventually available, they will keep geotagging you, device tagging you to your higher price. So using incognito mode prevents this. My homegirl showed me that, and I was like, wow, she was right. I mean, not that I didn't think she was, but once I saw it happen, I said, that's ridiculous. Okay, the third quick tip: activate your activity savings. So there's ways to save money on, your activities, your excursions. Find deals on group purchasing websites like Groupon. Also, if you're trying to save money on food as an activity and go eating out, have a meal. Like I mentioned before a few times in this video, have a few meals at your house. Like go grocery shopping. I know you're thinking like, do I really want to cook? But it's fun to kind of cook with your girls on a girls trip, right? Like y'all are all, just walking around the kitchen, cooking, talking, catching up. Get your groceries locally at some local grocery store. Like don't try to pack a bunch of snacks in your suitcase and all of that unless it's a snack you can't get where you're going. But why go someplace if you're not going to try what's local, right? You will want those snacks later. So even if you're staying at a hotel, like no one wants to spend $8 for a bottle of water in a hotel. And even if you don't finish your snacks, they can become cute little giveaways when you get back. Like, I'm not saying you bring someone a bag of chips, like Lay's chips back as a souvenir, but it might be something you bring back to the office, bring back to the kids, to the nieces and nephews, and say like, hey, I got these random snacks from overseas, from this other place I went to, and here you all can try it. That's what I do for my nephews and nieces all the time. I buy a rack of local snacks whenever I travel, wherever I go, and then we come back. When I come back, we eat them all together and see what we liked. So there you have it. 3 incredible girls trips under $500, not including the cost of getting there. Again, that is contingent on where you live and how you like to fly. If you're first class, that's great. If you said I'm going to be on Spirit Airlines and hold my knees and my bag in my lap, that's okay as well. $500, 3 trips, beach, festival, international. Tell me which one you're leaning towards. Tell me some of your hacks in the comments about what you do to save money on trips. Or if you really want to go all out, how you find ways to go all out and do it in a way that does not break the bank. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more budget-friendly travel tips and just financial advice overall. Happy travel, ladies!